What is going on, everybody? James Lott here, aka JT, and this is another free tip Friday. So today's tip, I'm going to go over contingencies. Here in the state of California, every real estate transaction has 3 contingencies that have to get taken care of before you actually close escrow. And those contingencies are your home inspection, your appraisal, and your loan approval. So first off, let's talk about the home inspection. Last week's tip, I went over it a bit more in detail, so you could look at last week's tip if you want more details. But you have 17 days from the time you open escrow to get your home inspection done. Now that is the standard time frame. However, that time frame can also be negotiated. So let's say you're putting in an offer on a house that has a lot of competition, and you're willing to get your home inspection done in 12 or 14 or 10 days to show the seller that you're okay with doing it a little bit quicker. So that's completely okay, and you're able to do that. And it'll also show the seller that you're a little bit more serious than maybe somebody else who's putting in an offer. So that's the home inspection. Then you have the appraisal. Now the appraisal is actually ordered by the lender that you use. They send out their own appraisers, they hire them out. And they go out and they determine the true value of the home. So that is always in the buyer's benefit, because it protects not only them, but it also protects the bank from lending on a property that might be overpriced. So let's say, for example, you put in an offer on a house for $400,000 and you get that appraisal done within 17 days. Again, that time frame is also negotiable. And then the appraisal comes back and says, well, hey, actually this property is only worth $370,000. Then you as a buyer and your realtor actually have to go back to the seller and say, hey, look, the value of the property is actually only $370,000. It's not $400,000. Therefore, we're not going to pay that price. Otherwise, if you're going to move forward with that original price of $400,000, then you have to come up with that extra extra $30,000 yourself, which I don't know many people who have $30,000 just laying around extra. And then also, a lot of times you're not going to want to overpay for a property that doesn't come in at that appraised value anyway. So it works in your advantage to do that. And then also, sometimes sellers will be a little pissed off about it and be mad about it. But the likelihood of them just backing out of escrow and trying to find somebody else is really unlikely, because for a seller, another buyer is going to come in and an appraiser is probably going to appraise that same property at around that same price anyway. So it really benefits both parties to just get it done and to go with that appraised price. Now, however, if the appraisal comes in higher, let's say instead of $400,000, it comes in at $420,000, then hey, as a buyer, congratulations, you automatically just got about $20,000 in equity right off the bat. So that's a good buy. So that's the appraisal. And then you actually have the final loan approval, which used to be 17 days standard time frame, but now it's 21 days. And the loan approval is really just based on the appraisal, and it's based on all of the underwriting that your bank or your lender has to go through in order to fully approve you. Now, I know you might be wondering, well, I thought I was pre-approved. Yes, you were pre-approved before you put in an offer. However, the bank has to go back through all of your financials and verify all the information that they have and really crunch the numbers to make sure that you can afford that house. So the final loan approval shouldn't take more than a couple weeks, but you do have 21 days to get that done. And again, that time frame is negotiable as well. If you're, as a buyer, you definitely want to lessen those time frames in situations where there's competition, just to show that you're a little bit more serious. So to recap, anytime you put an offer on a property, there are 3 contingencies. There are the appraisal, the home inspection, and the final loan approval. Every sale in the state of California is contingent upon those 3 things getting finalized and those 3 things getting taken care of. So with all that being said, I know that was a lot of info, but whatever questions you have, please feel free to reach out. Again, I'm just here to help, here to educate. I hope everyone has a great weekend. It's already November. It's going to be 2020 here in no time. So however I can help, let me know.